Shihoko, Amane's mother, unexpectedly visits her son's home and coerces her way into his apartment. From her observations, Shihoko noticed how clean Amane's apartment was and how clear his skin was. Before Shihoko had entered the apartment, Amane had Mahiru hide in his room and had hoped to shoo away his mother. After spotting dishes for 2 people in the strainer, Shihoko checks his room by forcing her way through despite Amane's protest. There, Shihoko finds Mahiru, deduces she's Amane's girlfriend and asks her name. Sheepishly, Mahiru introduces herself to Shihoko, who, in turn, does the same and concludes that Mahiru is in a relationship or at least in the process of one with Amane. Mahiru then explains that all she does is cook for Amane, but Shihoko thanks her for supporting him. This prompts Amane to confess that his mother becomes obstinate in situations like that. Afterward, Shihoko gets a full explanation from Amane and Mahiru about their relationship. Hearing that they're neighbors, Shihoko concludes their meeting was fate and lists some tidbits concerning Amane. Upset by where this was going, Amane demanded his mother leave, and she agreed to, but not before exchanging contact information with Mahiru. Sometime after Shihoko left, Amane apologized for his mother's behavior, but Mahiru downplayed it and complimented her. On the other hand, Amane belittles his mother. However, Mahiru still thought highly of Shihoko, who addressed her by her first name, something her parents never did. They then have a heart-to-heart by addressing the other by their first name and promise to do it publicly. Mahiru then tries to return Amane's spare key, but he allows her to keep it for a while longer. A brief argument occurs over the key, but ends with Mahiru agreeing to borrow it. The next day at school, Amane placed 21st in the second term finals test, while Mahiru placed first. Figuring he should do something special for the occasion, Amane purchases Mahiru a strawberry shortcake for her, that she finds in his fridge. While enjoying some of the cake, Mahiru feeds a piece to Amane, who sequentially does the same. One day, Amane goes food shopping to practice cooking for himself. Returning to his apartment complex, Amane runs into Mahiru by the elevator. During their ride up, Mahiru learns that Amane hoped to cook for himself and insists that she at least supervise. So, under Mahiru's supervision, Amane struggles to make an omelet and a vegetable dish. Mahiru tries the omelet, but notes it tastes bland and thought it was scrambled eggs. To show Amane the difference, Mahiru serves Amane an omelet she made and motivates him to try harder next time. In school, Chitose tries to coax Amane into having a pizza party at his house, but he refuses. Chitose then asks if he's spending time with his girlfriend, for he got the stuffed animal. However, Amane clarifies that it was for his neighbor, who sometimes helps him. Hence, Chitose cajoles Amane into agreeing and sets the date for Christmas Eve. Later, Amane asks Mahiru what her plans are for Christmas Eve, and she claims that she has none. Amane then claims he plans on holding a party with Itsuki and Chitose. Understanding the situation, Mahiru promises not to intervene and claims she's fine spending the day alone. Feeling guilty, Amane offers to spend Christmas with her. Mahiru agrees, on the condition they play video games together. Chitose and Itsuki enjoy a pizza party together on Christmas Eve in Amane's apartment. When it begins to snow, they rush onto the apartment balcony and see that Mahiru lives next door. Sitting around Amane's coffee table, Amane, Mahiru, Itsuki, and Chitose talked about how Mahiru the angel was Amane's neighbor. In Itsuki's opinion, he's perplexed that Amane doesn't have feelings for Mahiru, she's like his wife in training. Upon hearing that, Mahiru and Amane deny Itsuki's opinion as factual. With that, Amane asks Itsuki and Chitose to keep quiet about Mahiru and his relationship with the other, and they agree. Chitose then babbles a bunch of compliments toward Mahiru, which Amane stops when Chitose violates Mahiru's personal space. After apologizing for her actions, Chitose asks Mahiru to be her friend. Mahiru accepts Chitose's offer, who then formally introduces herself and Itsuki. The conversation then changes to Mahiru and her cooking hobby, which Chitose also admits she enjoys doing. Afterward, Amane apologizes to Mahiru about their encounter with Chitose and Itsuki, but she downplays it as nothing. Mahiru then briefly leaves to fetch some beef stew that she prepared and after they enjoy their meal together, Amane, while doing the dishes, asks Mahiru how she learned to cook various meals. She answered that her caretaker did and relayed that when a man makes you happy, cook fine meals for them. Furthermore, Mahiru admits her leveling of cooking doesn't compare to the lady who taught her how to cook. A touching moment occurs between them. And they abruptly end it, planning to meet the following day to eat lunch and then play video games. The next day, After Amane and Mahiru eat lunch together, Mahiru plays a game that she dies in. So, Amane assists her, only to realize he got a bit touchy with her and backs off. Amane apologizes for his actions, but Mahiru didn't mind it at all. Later, Mahiru played a racing game and leaned whenever she made an in-game turn, causing her to tip over into Amane's lap. Although embarrassed by what she did, Amane thought nothing of it. That night, Mahiru got first place in the racing game she played. Happy about Mahiru's accomplishment, Amane gives Mahiru her Christmas present as a prize for getting first place in the video game. Her present was a key case because Amane gave her a spare key to his apartment. Mahiru appreciates the present and notes that his mother once sent her an old picture of Amane all cleaned up. After a brief moment between them, Mahiru gives Amane a thick black scarf. A bit of a scene between them occurs, and Mahiru steps outside onto the balcony and becomes cold. Amane then puts a jacket around her, and the two spend the rest of the night there. The following day, Mahiru appears a bit flush, and Amane deduces that she has a cold, but Mahiru denies it. So, Amane has Mahiru take her temperature, and it's revealed that she has a minor fever. However, Amane insists that Mahiru rests until she feels better, and ultimately, she rests in Amane's room on his bed. The day after, Amane checks up on Mahiru, who, although she admits to still feeling groggy, feels better than she did the day before. Figuring it's for the best, Amane decides to stay and talk with Mahiru until she sleeps. When she finally does, Amane confesses that Mahiru is bad for his heart. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe.